Become a member of the National At-Home Dad Network, an organization focused on providing advocacy, community, education, and support. Connecting with households where dad is the primary caregiver of the children. We do this through our webinar and podcast series, mental health support groups, regular online social events, as well as our annual convention. The National At-Home Dad Network is a 100% volunteer organization. Without the generous support of its members and the community around it, we would not be able to continue the work that we do. Becoming a member gives you access to past convention speaker presentations, the ability to vote for board members annually, and ensures that the organization's fees and bills are in positive standing. Oh yeah, it should not go unmentioned that there is some cool swag headed your way if you decide to become a member. For only $35 a year, your membership provides you with the exclusive content only we can generate, and you'll be supporting an organization that benefits families all around the country and world. By advocating for them, offering them community, providing education and guidance, and supporting them to grow in their parenthood journey. And one last thing, if you contribute $500 or more, you will become a lifetime member. Not only will you receive everything already mentioned, but also a certificate recognizing your status and an exclusive National At-Home Dad Network challenge coin with our trademark logo, Dads Don't Babysit. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member today. Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock.
My name is Danny.
And we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey everybody, we are here, kind of. I don't know, I think I just sort of slumped in here, but it's been, one of those days. I'm sure everybody has been feeling a little bit of that blah that is kind of the into February. I feel like, I don't know, is that just me? February always seems to be kind of a blah month.
January is generally most people's blah month because you're coming out of the holidays and you're coming out of all those big highs and all those big foods that you ate that you don't normally eat. And the January slump is, but if it's February, it's probably because your January involved getting a new job, which is very exciting and very bolstering. And then you have to actually work that job every day. And that's way worse than the actual thought of getting a job generally is. So it's not surprising, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely an element to that for sure. But I think for me too, February is always I don't know, my birthday's in January. So it's yay. And there's a bunch of other family members that have birthdays. So it's not that bad of a month. But then for whatever reason, when I roll into February, I'm oh, not quite the spring yet. And that's why I'm dang it. It's one more month of this stuff. I feel like it's worse than Poxitani Phil telling me I got 6 weeks of winter.
Well, it's been almost 40 here 2 days in a row, and everything's melted. Our roof has no snow on it at all.
Wow.
There's been water running in the gutters along the street. It's been crazy. And we have a sled event for the elementary school tomorrow night. And I'm I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we still can, but it's going to be very slushy, I think. So
that'll be interesting. A sled event. What does that mean exactly?
Just get all the kids together and sled, over at the park. They have a specific park, and it's not really a fundraiser. It's just more of a get together. You bring a prepackaged baked good, which was requested, and then I'm guessing we're going to go down the toboggan run possibly, because that's at that park. And I don't know. I'm going to bring my sleds if we go. Because if it was like today, if it didn't get any colder tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to go because it's all. This is the snow we get in Georgia, where it's just wet and just water basically after a couple hours, and then it'll turn into ice. I hope not.
So what is your choice of pre-packaged goodies that you would bring to this event?
I would probably always go with cookies. And generally just a standard chocolate chip cookie, because I don't want anything that you have to cut. I don't want anything like cupcakes that has a paper wrapper left over, just because it's something that the kids have to throw away. A lot of people aren't going to throw it away. The kids are going to drop it or whatever. It might get messy. Right. Cookies aren't smushy and they don't have icing on them, like a cupcake does. Okay. So, and I'm definitely not going to do a cake or a pie for obvious reasons. So yeah, probably just chocolate chip cookies.
Okay. I was thinking like, Twinkie, ho-ho, ding dongs, something like that.
Oh, like Little Debbie's or Twinkies? I don't know if they have Twinkies anymore. Yeah. Swiss cake roll is always my favorite thing.
That's a winner. Yeah.
Again, a little more messy.
That is a winner for sure. Oh, yeah. All right. That's what's going on.
I will say the host cakes.
Give me a second. I need to switch to the modem back here. So after switching modems, and so what is this you were talking about a specific type of
the Hostess cupcake? Like Hostess has their own cupcakes, right?
Yes.
And you can get a cake like that, like a regular cake size, like a birthday cake. And I got one probably 12 years ago, and I have been searching since then to get that cake back because it is so good, and it's just like a giant cupcake.
Yeah,
they even put the layer of chocolate frosting on the top. It's not actually frosting, it's more of a fondant. I don't know what you call that. Maybe a fondant. Sure.
Yeah, I would think
whatever that is. And it was amazing. That was the best cake. And Marnie's tried, never got it back again.
I was gonna say, did you get it at a specific store? Like,
she went to, I'm pretty sure Publix. It's been a while. It's been 10 years, so I don't know, wow, but I'm pretty sure it was Publix, and she returned to the same place and couldn't find it the next year.
Boo.
And we've had other ones, it's like, oh, this is like that. And no, it's not. I want a giant Hostess cupcake. That's what I want.
Right.
I don't want that anymore because I'm good with not having cake. These days cakes, it's not as exciting. It's birthday cake's exciting. Not my thing. Birthday steak. No, that's I'm good.
Now you're speaking my language.
Right?
Birthday steak. Yes, bring it on.
Did you ever see that picture of the kid that got a steak cake that was steak and it was like molded with mashed potatoes around it and stuff, and it was just layers of like different steaks? Like 3 tiers high. I'll find that someday and I'll show it to you.
I think I would be too jealous of that kid.
Right? I'm like, happy birthday to me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get the top or I get the middle. I don't care, but yeah.
A fork and a knife for me. Oh my. Yeah, that does sound like fun. So
I'm always down for food.
Yeah.
Lots of food too. Steak is always a good one.
I was making my one of the guys at our Bible studies mouth water because I was talking about the wings that we have at the brewery. They're super tasty. So yeah. Well, and the fun part is that like I hang out with the marketing and digital marketing and social media person, and so she's like constantly being like, hey, I need to take pictures of the food. And so like the kitchen just like makes certain things up and brings them out, and we take pictures of them. And it's so funny because she's like, I feel so bad because like I feel like we need to pay for this. And I'm like, no, it's all marketing. Like you don't have to pay for any of it. I was like, and they've even told you that, so stop feeling guilty about it and eat your food.
And then eat it. Yep.
It's like they brought out like pickle chips and wings, and then they had this bacon onion Brussels sprout pizza that they brought out. That was actually
Brussels sprout pizza. All right.
It was pretty tasty, like caramelized Brussels sprouts, and it was good.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't love Brussels sprouts, right? But I've learned to eat them and enjoy them.
Yeah.
Marnie grew up eating them, and I don't think I had them before like 6 years ago. But I'll say Jeremy Haston I'm pretty sure it was him. Sorry if whoever it was, if it wasn't him, but gave me a recipe for bacon wrapped Brussels sprouts.
Oh, that sounds like a Jeremy thing.
And it's exactly, you take a Brussels sprout, evidently you wrap it in bacon and then you bake it. And that's it. That's where you go. And I'm going to try that this week, I think.
There you go.
Because just the idea of it, if you pull it off, that's going to be really good, I think.
That sounds like an amazing Super Bowl like little piece right there, man. I like that. Is that what that's for, or
no?
You're just
just because. Yeah,
okay.
I don't have any plans for Super Bowl food right now.
Okay.
I don't know because I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl. Just because I don't watch really sports.
Sure.
But Marnie probably will. She likes a good game, and even if she's not interested in the teams that are there, I think she'll still enjoy it. So if she wants me to, what I'll probably just do like sheet pan nachos because they're pretty easy. Just instead of making a pyramid of nachos, you just spread them out. So make 2 or 3 layers, and black beans and probably some roasted chicken. We'll see.
Sounds like a winner. That sounds like a real winner.
Yeah. We make a salsa cheese dip.
Yeah.
Way too regularly. It's the one thing that I think of, like 3 things that my 13-year-old can make other than like frozen waffles or toast, but actually food that he can make. The top one is salsa cheese dip. And he'll come in and it's cream cheese, and then it's beans, and then it's salsa, and then it's cheddar cheese, maybe hot sauce, maybe, if we have pork that I made last night, we have leftover, we'll shred that in there. And he just goes to town.
Wow.
And and we make it in the microwave, which you can make it stovetop, and way better, but it's just time consuming. 3 minutes in the microwave, we're done. And
30 minutes on the stove.
Man, it's just terrible how good it is too.
Oof, that does sound dangerous.
Yeah. I need to go eat some now, actually.
Dinner. Well, I think I mentioned this on the podcast like last time or whatever, but I this past weekend I attended my first drag show because it's something that they were putting on at the brewery, and I needed to go see kind of how that all played out, being an event coordinator and everything, and see where it goes. I was taken aback. Like it was not what I thought it was going to be. I mean, everybody was having a great time. I mean, it was entertaining, but here's my thing. Okay. I don't know what I guess here's what I thought it was going to be. I thought that it was going to be like what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a talent competition where like, they come up on stage and they perform songs, and whatever. The element that was weird to me was the fact that like basically each performer was dancing around the room and collecting money as they were doing it. And I was like, that's different. It had just a very odd element. Is that something like, have you experienced that? Like what?
I've never been to a drag show.
You've never been to a drag show?
No, I've been to burlesque shows, which is a huge difference, but there have been drag performers there.
Yeah.
But I think every show is a little bit different. So was it like a performer came out and as they were singing, they would walk around the room and pick up tips?
Yeah.
That kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly that.
That's happened a lot. And a big part of, being a performer of any kind. I mean, I'm more familiar with like busking and like Ren Fair stuff where you're hawking your stuff and you're trying to get people into your shop or whatever and that kind of thing. But it's still the same idea in my head, and I could be completely off, but it's just, this is how you make money.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like the guys on the streets in New Orleans, and it was like, hey, this guy painted himself silver.
Yeah.
Oh, you took his picture. You need to give me $1. It was like, wait, what? Why do I have to give you $1? Because you took my picture. And they're right, but it felt I felt kind of affronted by that when it first happened, because like I didn't ask. I mean, you didn't say I was going to have to pay you to take your picture, and it's just a picture. I don't get it. But the reality of it is that's their performance. That's their art. Even if this guy is just a statue, I couldn't do that, But yeah, I think that makes sense. We had it with the last time we did it was at a Greek restaurant, and they had a belly dancer. Okay. And she was on stage dancing. There's a stage in the middle of the restaurant, and it was a small restaurant, small stage. And then after it, she made her way around with a basket, and was just, and I think she wore it on her head, and then kind of danced around and whatever. But yeah, I think that's, if the venue is good with it and knows ahead of time, of course, you don't want to shock people with that, but yeah.
It was just interesting to me, like, because I even like looked around afterwards at a couple other different like breweries who also like recently said that they're having a drag show, and I was like, okay, like what are they doing?
Yeah. Neat.
And like it even said like bring your dollar bills, and I was like, interesting, like okay, this must be a thing. Like I didn't know that was part of the deal. But I will say this, they're very talented. One of the drag queens was all of 6'4", 6'5", stocky, and wearing stilettos and dancing around like they were in freaking tennis shoes. And I was like, that is impressive to me, because I would have broke both of my ankles just with the first initial step. And just all of that, like they had the crowd riled up, and they were having a good old time with it. The other thing I thought that was really interesting was this was actually awkward and funny all at the same time. So like the MC, like the host of the show, started asking everybody like what they like identified as, like, and just went around the room. And it was just interesting, like the amount of heterosexual women who were there to have a good time and just stuff dollar bills in these drag queens like clothes and stuff. And I'm like, all right, like to each their own, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a packed show. There were like 80 some people in there, and they were having a blast. So,
well, and women too, a lot of times find it difficult to go out and have a good time and relax, because men just period. That's the problem. Sure. But they'll get hit on. The people give them unwanted attention, and especially if you're physically imposing to a person, that's intimidating, right? And so you don't have the relaxation. But at a drag show, you're fine, and that the people that are performing there, the performers, are there just to entertain you, And so I feel like you would get a much more relaxed atmosphere, to where you can go and you can drink a little, you dance a little, maybe with them, you can sing, whatever, but you can let your hair down, as it were, and not really worry about anyone giving you any problems. To be, I'm not saying you're going to get necessarily molested or anything like that, but just the little things that happen when, people get a little too much alcohol in them. The one thing that I did really come to the realization of, like, we had people asking this outside of the event, was talking about like, do you let kids come to this or whatever? And it's like, it's an 18 and over type of situation. They have a thing. I think there was a thing in there that talked about like, kids could come with like an adult or something along those lines. But I mean, these entertainers are not pulling any punches when it comes to their jokes and things. Like, this is some very much like adult content type show type of stuff. So so I mean, it was I think that's maybe the third or fourth one that's been done there at the brewery. We catch heat for it every single time we promote it, and every single time we go, well, we don't need your business. Like, we're doing this, we support what they're doing. We had to deal with some very interesting comments from some people on social media, and you're just kind of like, hey, enjoy your free speech to say that, and enjoy the fact that I get to actually tell you to move along and not to ever get a comment again in this page. But it was just, for me, it was one of those things where it was like, I need to go see what this is. I got to go figure out like how I'm going to be able to support it, or how I'm going to be able to facilitate, having them come back, or having another group come in, and that kind of thing. So that was a part that I really hadn't like thought a whole lot about. I mean, like, I got asked about that in the interview process, and so I knew it was coming. And it was definitely something to check out. And like, I don't think it's anything that I would probably go and set in on again, but I definitely like have a staff that can take care of the crowd that's there and the people that are there, and that kind of thing. So like I said, I just wanted to share it as like, this was the experience that I had, and being somebody who is very, very straight, I was like, it was an adventure for sure. So working on being straight but not narrow.
Right there you go. Good way to put it. So you mentioned the Super Bowl. That
is coming up. I don't know. I know that you're not big into sports, but have you seen anything from like the two brothers who are going to be playing against each other?
No, not really.
The Kelsey brothers. From a family standpoint, it's going to be very interesting because here you have this mom and dad who love their kids very much, love these boys so much. And it's like they're going to watch these two boys and their teams like battle it out to win like one of the biggest prizes in like professional sports. And it's been very interesting, like the two of them going back and forth trying to get the parents to take sides the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like,
of course,
who you rooting for?
Right? Who's your favorite? I know I'm your favorite. I mean, I'm your favorite, right? Yeah.
The best part about it is that the one who like says is the favorite is because he's the favorite is because he gave grandbabies to mama. So that's why he's the favorite. Mm-hmm. which is just hilarious in itself. But yeah, just watching those two go back and forth. Sometimes they mic players up during the game, and there's been a lot of people being like, man, I really hope that they like mic those guys up because it would be so cool just to hear them on the field.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so we'll see. The other thing that's really neat though is that there's a petition out actually to have their mom be the person who gets to flip the coin for the coin toss. And there's like, because they're making history. They're the first brothers to ever play each other, and so a lot of people are like, she should be the first mom to ever get to go out there and flip a coin like that. So, and I hope that they do it. I think it would be just that great little extra bit of like just family, to the whole situation. So we'll see what happens.
I hope they ask the dad to do it. That's what I think.
Well, he seems to be very quiet. Like, he's not the like out there. Like I've yet to see any video of him at all. He seems to be the behind the scenes guy. They've mentioned him a few times and talked about some different stories and poked fun at him, but he has not come on camera or on the mic for anything.
All right. Well, if mom's more extroverted, bring her. Yeah, I can see that.
She's very extroverted indeed.
That would be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great. I could imagine seeing my kids play each other, and I would root for them both. I just would, and whoever won, I would be happy for them. And whoever lost, I would be comforting to them. Like, yeah, it's all right. You tried your best. You did this, you did that again. You learn a lot from failure. You don't learn a lot from success. So you're smarter than your brother now. So let's move on. I don't know.
I think it'll make for a good show. Although the one thing I think that most people who are not into sports ball are probably going to be interested in are things like the commercials, because some of those can be pretty good, or all the movie trailers that come out, because there's a lot of those that are going to be popping up. And then like the halftime show, because the halftime show is Rihanna, and so everybody's like, as long as she doesn't sing the song from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, will be okay. Like,
right?
Sing the bangers. Don't sing the one that's going to make everybody cry. Yeah, I have seen that. Actually, I'm excited to sit down at some point and watch it at home since it's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah, we watched it night before last, I think, and I'll have to watch it again because there was a lot of. Well, it's a funeral movie in a lot of ways. It's a funeral. There's a lot of funerals going on, a lot of funeral feeling all the way through it. So it was definitely, but it was really Chadwick Boseman. To me, was probably. I mean, I loved Black Panther. It was it was my favorite movie. I think probably, except for Winter Soldier, which Winter Soldier was in itself a really good action movie. Right. Yeah. I mean, it was just any characters could have pulled that stuff off. It didn't have to be a Marvel movie, just a well-produced, well-directed movie. Right. Mm-hmm. But Black Panther was just so, for lack of a better word, so cool, that Wakanda was there. And, having read the comic books, was aware, that it was there, but the world didn't know, kind of thing. And they just pulled it off so well. And what he brought to that character, just the charisma that he has. And, if you ever saw him meeting fans.
I did. I love those segments. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
right.
Yeah, and I could watch those for hours.
Yeah, and they would come out and they would they would bow to him, like, oh my king, and what kind. And it was so awesome because he was the king.
Yeah,
he
was Chala.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
Corey and I went and saw it in the theater. And it was it was very difficult to not cry a lot. So it was very, but it was also intense. Like it wasn't. I mean, it was just an intense movie. I mean, we talked about the fact it was like I don't know that the kids can watch. It's like I don't know if they'll get all of this. Like there's some pretty like super intense moments. It's more intense than most Marvel movies. So
and very poignant moments, a lot of just amazing moments in that movie. And I don't want to put spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen it, but just the times where, I mean, and I cried several times, and that's, I don't try to stop my crying. I just let it go. Let's just let it out. But it was moments that were more unexpected. Like I knew something was coming up, something's coming and to expect it.
Right.
And obviously, I mean, there was a funeral at the beginning because Chadwick had died, and they put that in the movie basically they
started right off
his
with
character.
It.
And that's where and I'm going, okay, great, a funeral, great. That's what I need right now. I don't need to watch this. I'm not ready for this. And it was fine. I never cried. I went all the way through that, and it was very somber, but also very joyous.
Yeah.
There was a very wake feeling in it, to where we're celebrating the life of this man. And it was beautiful. It was well done. And then other moments that I just like I could do the thing happened or whatever. And it was just really unexpected. And I'm going to have to watch it again. Just because it was just too much at one time. There's so much going on.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot to pick through and see different elements for sure. So yeah, it's one of those where like just like you, I'll just sit down and watch it at least a few more times. And two, I think like I'll probably end up like letting the kids watch them, but there's some spots where I'll probably just like be like, yeah, we're going to skip through this because this doesn't really pertain to anything that you need to deal with right now as a small child.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I mean, so that's out, and that's going to be interesting. But I'm trying to think. Oh, so the movie that my kids are super excited about is the Mario movie, Super Mario. Have you seen previews for that?
No, I've read about it, but I haven't actually seen the trailer or anything.
It looks pretty good, actually.
Does it? Okay.
From a video game standpoint, the characters are on point.
Okay.
It's definitely got a lot of that. Not a huge fan of the fact that Chris Pratt plays the voice of Mario. I felt like they could have definitely gone with a different person. Don't ask me who, but they could have gone with a different person.
A lot of people, from what I understand, are unhappy about that.
Yeah, that just didn't make much sense to me at all. But yeah, I mean, like it has that sort of like, to me, kind of Super Mario World video game-esque, like in there with like it kind of feels like characters from when they brought like the Super Mario World to like the Wii. Have a lot of that, and then like carried on through to having it on the Switch and everything else. So but I mean it every element, like it's it has Mario Kart in there. I'm sure at some point it probably is going to have something with Mario Party and a bunch of stuff. Like it just seems like it's going to hit like all the history points of Mario along the way. So that's what I'm most interested in, is seeing like how do they integrate all of those things into it.
Yeah, well, and I will say Seth Rogen and Jack Black are in it, and both of them to me they have their, I don't know how to put this, they have their place. They have, I'm not like, I would love to see them in every movie. I don't mean that at all, but their performances are very, very them every time.
Oh yeah.
So I like seeing that, and then seeing that come out in the character. I don't know how, it's like Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong, I think.
Okay.
You know,
that makes sense.
I'm not sure how that's going to work out on screen, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Mario wasn't a big thing for me.
Okay.
I want to get, I guess, a Switch at some point to play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Because I've just heard of just the absolute destruction that you can just lay down upon your children if they if they don't know what they're doing. And my kids, my older kids especially, are old enough that I would like to win against them in a lot of video games and just come in and go, oh, is that a shell in your head? It is. You're in last. We'd see. They will. I mean, my 13-year-old can beat me at anything. His hand-eye coordination. He's too fast. I just can't keep up. But I would still like to get in there and play that game with him, just for the fun, just for the laughter that comes with getting your butt kicked in a game. You know.
Yeah, especially a game that doesn't even, doesn't matter really. It's all kinds of fun like that.
We're just playing, and nobody's getting too serious, and
that's why Super Smash Brothers was so popular, is because you just basically beat each other up until there's last man standing.
And so my 13-year-old joined a club finally. He's very introverted, very shy, new school, the new kid, and everybody kind of hates him. I mean, everybody makes fun of him, and he's 13, but he's not really in puberty yet, right? So he's just a late bloomer. He's growing and he'll be 6 something when he gets there, but he's not interested in, boys or girls at all. He's not really, so it's really hard for him to get out and do anything. So I pushed him to go to computer class. I'm like, no, computer class is on, or computer club, excuse me. Computer club is on this day. You're going to be there, and I'm going to go be there to pick you up at this time. And if you're not there and didn't go to the club, I'm going to be very upset. And we're going to talk about repercussions because I need you to do this. Mm-hmm. Well, turns out computer club is just, for the first 3 weeks, was just sitting there playing Super Smash Brothers with the other kids.
Really?
And yeah, and they have a club Wii, or not Wii, but Switch.
Okay. And
they have 4 people playing, and now they have a not Valentine's Day thing going on. It's a faux Valentine's, but it's going to host among other things, a Super Smash Brothers tournament.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, really? Okay. All right. So do you ever learn anything about computers? He's like, no, not yet. I don't know if we're going to, but I'm fine, Dad. And I'm like, all I wanted was for you to have a social outlet, to get out there. And he's already made one guy that, he's met somebody that's his friend. And now they sit together at lunch, and it's building up, and being the new kid in school does that. And
it's tough, man.
Yeah, it really is. And we're weird. We don't fit in anywhere, much less, rural Wisconsin. We kind of stick out. We're finding our people. We're finding a lot of people that are very interested in comics and anime and sci-fi and fantasy stuff and D&D and just everything else. We're finding our nerds in this area. So, and the kids just have to do that. So computer club, and I'm using the air quotes for anybody that's just listening, isn't watching the video. Computer club is just playing games. And at first I was upset. But really, all I want is for him to have a social outlet. Just have something he can do that.
I was gonna say, I think what you wanted to have done was accomplished, and just not in the way that you thought it was going to be done. Mm-hmm. Which, I feel like that's life. That's how
that is very life.
That is so. That is so the essence of life. To I want to do it this way. Then it turns out to work in a different light. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad that things are turning around for him.
Pivot. Yeah, and he's joining Science Club, which is the other one, who, like, this week will be his first class, and they're going to do bridge building.
Okay.
Which is, just an engineering STEAM thing, and then he's got a STEAM field trip that he's going on, and I'm like, all right, yeah, you're getting there. Yeah, you've been here a year and a half, and you're finally getting some clubs. Let's go.
There you go.
So that's good.
You can have him come down here and talk to the engineers about how to build a new bridge over here.
We had Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we're finally getting a new bridge after all these years of us complaining about the fact that we need a new bridge down here.
Are they adding a new one, or are they replacing an old one?
They're going to build it right beside the old one and run them both. And I think what they're doing is they're going to
run them both.
They're going to run them both. Yeah, they're going to, I think, divert traffic in such a way that I think it's going to be something. I've heard a couple different things. Like one is going to be a northbound, one's going to be a southbound. Is one thing I heard. Another one that I heard is that they were going to divert like all of the big trucks to the new bridge and run all the cars and like smaller vehicles on the older bridge type of deal. So, but yeah, they weren't going to tear it down. They were just going to kind of carry it around. So there'll be a massive infrastructure build coming there. Yeah. But I mean, that there's three times more traffic than what that bridge was originally made for. So it's needed bad.
And with the expected growth of any major city in America,
right,
you have to be planning for what it's going to need 10 years from now, because it's going to take you 5 just to build it, So exactly. Have it to where are we going to be at in 10 years? That's what we need to be prepared for. We're building this bridge for. So that's good. That's good. We did, or I should say we did, Marcus, 4th grader, 10 years old, and he did a toothpick bridge project at his school.
Okay.
They did toothpicks and glue, and it was so well done because the teacher was the warehouse, and there were 3 people on a team, and one was each one had their own job. One was the kind of the driver. They would go to the warehouse and pick up and bring back. And then the one person was the accountant, and they had a budget, and they had to pay for the land and pay for the stuff. And when they needed like lumber, which is the toothpicks, or welding supplies, which is the glue. And that, so, okay, well, that's what it is. Okay, well, I approve that. And the other guy is the project manager, and they write the check. Right.
Yeah.
And they give them the check, and then the delivery guy goes and gives the check and picks up the stuff and brings it back. And the accountant has to keep the books correctly and make sure everything's going on. And then inflation hit, which was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Because she said at some point the prices are going to go up. You don't know when, but it's going to happen. And there was like one team that went ahead and bought a lot of extra lumber because they knew they would use it. You couldn't buy glue because it won't stay, it'll harden up. But they had one that held almost 40 pounds.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was like 38 or 36 maybe, but I think 38 pounds.
Dang.
And it was it was so funny because you hear all these little kids and they're going, oh, and it starts to cry. Oh, cracking. And then it breaks and they all go, ah! And I'm like, why are you all screaming? Calm down.
That's awesome.
But it was great. It was great. And a great lesson in not only engineering of a bridge, but also in what it takes to build a structure like that. The
finances for anything. Yeah. I mean, not just even the bridge, but like, all kinds of stuff. Like that's really cool.
Yeah. It was a great thing.
It sounds like it. They did a thing like that on Lego Masters. I don't know if do you watch that show?
No, but I know what it is, obviously.
Yeah. Lego. So Lego Masters on Fox, they do different building competitions, but they did a bridge building competition, and they had to build this massive bridge. And then they were going to put like weight on it and see just how much they could get on there and things. There was one team, their bridge held 1,000 pounds.
Wow.
I was like, what?
Man.
Yeah, it's an impressive episode for real.
and I'm guessing they weren't glued together. They were just together.
They were not clicked. Wow. And they had the choice to do it however they wanted. I think they used a lot of the Connect. Is it Connect? Is that what it's called? I don't know. There's like a specific type of brick where it's really strong that they have, and that's what they ended up using. And yeah, they were able to put 1,000 pounds on that thing. It was nuts. So, but yeah, it's a cool show. The kids really enjoy watching it. We watch it as a family. But yeah, I mean, my kids haven't gotten into clubs so much, other than my daughter goes to reading club, but that's that's something. It is, but it's more just to help her with reading, which, by the way, like has been amazing. Honestly, like she's doing so good at that. We even at one point the teachers were like, "Well, she's still like testing like underneath the level that we expected," but then she comes home and she just like read through books like they're no problem. Like, well, maybe she just doesn't like reading to you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't know what it is. But anyway, yeah, I mean, they're pretty good with just like coming home and doing their own thing. I think that it'll take a little bit of more time and they'll figure it out. Because some of Hezekiah's buddies are really big into sports, and he's not a jock kind of kid. Like he likes to go watch sports, but he's not gonna go play a sport. Like that's not him. So, but
I get that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. Like it's definitely the opposite of how I was as a kid, but that's he's doing something different, so it's fine. So, but at the same time, he and I get to bond by going to sporting events together, which I'm totally fine with. And actually,
at least watch it.
Yeah, and actually, a buddy of mine, messaged me today and was like, "Hey, like, I've got 2 tickets to the upcoming UC game on Saturday. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, I'll take H with me. Like, we'll have a blast. Like, he had so much fun last time." And he's like, "I was hoping that you'd say you'd take him again." And so it's just stuff like that.
Wait, are you sure your buddy wasn't trying to just the two of you? And you said Hezekiah and had said H, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you guys can go." I was hoping you would do that sad face.
No, he only gives me the tickets typically when he can't go, so I get both of his, so which is nice.
All right.
So, but yeah, I mean, but I love that though. Like, you have friends that are generous enough to like, be like, "Hey, I've got these tickets," that kind of thing.
And there are people like that, yes, but the reality of it is that to get treated that way, you treat others that way.
True. Yes.
So you are a friend that's generous. You are a friend that will help someone out, and people know it, and then they reciprocate. So
yeah, so
pay it forward and all that.
Exactly.
So tonight is the State of the Union address, which I think is starting momentarily, if it hasn't already.
As I say, I keep seeing little things pop up on my computer. Yeah, that it's about to start.
So if you want to end it up, we can. I don't know that I'm going to go watch it, but I might put it on and let the kids get bored because they do not care.
It's all good. Luckily, it's not like back in the day. It was like if the president was on, there was no other channel for you to watch anything on.
Nothing. Yes. It was that, or let's go read a book. Well, I'll go read a book. That's why I missed so much when I was a kid on TV. Well, I can read.
Yeah.
Choice. But anyway,
well, like always, it's always a good time just to catch up and just chit chat for a while. So can't beat that. I don't know what the future for holds for us, but I'm sure we'll have another fun episode with maybe a guest. Maybe we'll get somebody on here or something like that. I think we got some home dad con people that we maybe need to bring in and start like grilling them for information.
Yeah, I think we got a couple in the chute. They're March though. They're nothing so far for February, but we got a couple coming up.
That's down the line. That's going to be here sooner than later. Alrighty. Well, with that, thank you all for listening. Definitely please help spread the show by liking, sharing, and leave us a review. And that's always very helpful to us. So especially this late in the game where we are at over 100 episodes. So everything helps with that. But till next time, y'all have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.